Welcome to the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, where we take a look at some of the awesome news and reveals of this week. First up on the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, we take a look at the Four Horsemen Studios campaign and how it went for the Beathair Dragon Kickstarter on their Four Horsemen Studio website. So it was more of a crowdfunder, not a Kickstarter this time around, through them. By now it is already done and it did really well. It got all unlocks completed on both the main product and the two upgrades. So you're going to be getting, if you backed it and you paid the price for it, you're going to be getting Beathair, Sir Baragon, I hope I said his name was right, the Ashen Skeleton, and the Beathair's Fury, which is the knight that they are calling a troop builder, but I'm going to have it be, just one of his lieutenants, and then try to find something else to troop build with, maybe some gold and green knights from the builders and all that stuff. And then we got the Fire Breath upgrade with the Burning Knight and the Burning Knight upgrades, and then we got the Epic Wing upgrades with the Epic Wing Ashen Zombie with his upgrades. So you're going to be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figures, and then an awesome dragon with all kinds of upgrades. Really cool looking campaign. I'm glad they did really well. And then on a side note from that, they did give us an update on the world of Mythos, and they showed us a map with the continent we already knew about, and then it shows surrounding continents that are going to be adding more characters and creatures and story and factions in the future. So very exciting time to be a Mythic Legions fan or Four Horsemen fan in general, because they are definitely building up and doing more in their world. So I'm looking forward to it and covering it here. And in McFarlane toy news, we have a look at some GameStop exclusives. As you know, the GameStop exclusive have been those Frostbite characters. So we have a look here at the Three Jokers Red Hood Frostbite figure. Looks really cool. And then something that is really awesome, and it fits well with this, is the Game of Thrones, I think it's the Night King or the Frost King. I feel bad, I can't remember the name of the character, but it's the ice pretty much bad guy, and he is Frostbitten, which is really cool. They're Frostbitten, so really fun figure to get in the Frostbitten thing. Kind of like if you got a Mr. Freeze, it makes sense, or Batman or Robin, because Mr. Freeze freezes them. These are fun little figures that are exclusives that you can either get them if you want them or skip them if you don't care, but it's really fun for GameStop to have. But those are some McFarlane toys that looked really cool this week. There's of course a lot more to come because McFarlane is not slowing down. Even with their contract coming up, they are going to be pushing out as many figures as possible before that ends. And in some turtle news, over at Target, they will be getting a Playmates 2008 era TMNT party wagon / trash truck playset / vehicle. And this is, of course, the 2008 Nickelodeon Turtles version of the party wagon. Really cool looking with launching missiles, so it's still a feature there, which is really cool. This will be, of course, like I said, a Target exclusive. Figures sold separately, which we talked about a while back, and they went up for pre-order, then went in stock, and I think they might still be hitting the Target store shelves and on their website if you want to get them to go with this. I just thought it was really cool that we're getting more 2008 Turtle stuff. It's very rare you see something from that soon getting, I guess it's not that soon. That was almost more than, was that a while ago? Oh my gosh. I felt old there for a moment because I remember growing up and watching the 2000s Turtles and the late 90s Turtles. So yeah, no, it is really cool for fans of the 2008 Turtles to be able to get this because it is, from what I know, one from the original that came out back in the day from Playmates. It's really cool to see them doing this, just like they did with the 2000 stuff. I want to see them do more like this because it's cool for fans who want this. And in some Marvel news, on April 4th, they did for 4/4 a Fantastic Four teaser with the Marvel Legends figures, just their arms. I believe it was shooting the galaxy who got to take the photo, and part of me wanted to message them and ask, did they just send you the 4 arms, or did they actually send you the 4 figures? Because I think it'd be hilarious if they just sent the 4 arms to them to take the photo of. But I just thought it was a really cool little teaser here, get us excited for the Fantastic Four movie, and to show us that they are making Fantastic Four figures. Of course, immediately people pointed out that the thing was not, he didn't have a sleeve, so is this the thing where he's just wearing the undergarments and he's not going to have the jacket or the pants? Knowing Marvel, they'll put out both versions if they do both versions, so I'm very excited for this. I'm excited for the Fantastic Four movie. It's fun to see Pedro Pascal both in the Marvel universe and the Star Wars universe now under the Disney umbrella, and just the rest of the cast. The trailer looked incredible that they showed us a while back, and I'm looking forward to any more information they give us for it. And when it comes to campaigns, the Kickstarter for the Skybound Entertainment's and Hasbro Transformers comic sets of the Marvel era, both UK and US, went live on the 8th. And is already completely funded. It funded in 2 minutes. Now they're just trying to get their stretch goals. Already 6 unlocked, as you can see here. They're going for the patches next. This is like the G.I. Joe one from a while back, but it's the Transformers version. I have some photos here kind of explaining everything you need to know. There are several tiers. A lot of the tiers were just the same thing, but with early access stuff. So like Optimus and Megatron had an Optimus and Megatron where they were both 600, I believe it was. And they come with the 4 books where they combine the 2 UK and US stories to kind of make a continuity, and then they have the 4 separate books that are the same, but it separates the US and the UK stories. And then I believe it came with the digital stuff and the tech spec for Autobot and Decepticon. But then they had the same thing for 600, but with a signed print. A lot of these tiers are getting signatures. If you just want the stories, it starts off at 60 for the digital for all 4 if you want to go digital. Then it goes up to, I believe, 300 for physicals, and then 600 for physicals and both versions of the US and UK mixed together and US and UK separate. It's pretty much, steak and potatoes, but in whichever way you want it, with what seasonings you want and stuff like that. So the same thing, it's just difference of how you want them mixed together or not mixed together. And then if you want extra stuff, you can go all in on Autobot or all in on Decepticon and not get the opposite set, but then buy the unlocks later on. Like you could already buy the sticker of the Decepticon even though you're getting the free Autobot stuff, because if you do the Autobot side like before with G.I. Joe, you get all the Autobot stretch goals. There are stretch goals though that are just for both. It looks like there's probably maybe half the stretch goals are for everyone, half the stretch goals are just Decepticon or Autobot, but you could always buy the opposite faction if you don't want to buy both sets. Or you could go all in on Unicron and pay 900 and get both sets and the separated books and a bunch of other stuff. The very top tier where it was 900 also, but you got a bunch of signatures, already did sell out. Stuff is selling out pretty fast, but if you just want the median, you don't care about the extra stuff. I was fortunate enough to be able to go to TFCon and meet a lot of the people, or Comic Con, and meet a lot of the people that are part of the signatures that are going to be in it. So I already have their signatures and I already got to meet them in person, and they were all amazing, from Simon Furman to the gentleman who works on the Skybound stuff that I'm point a blank on, to Bob Bulinski. Hope I said that right. I believe I did. He was amazing to me. He pretty much is the, names of the Transformers, and the story pretty much came from him when it came to the US, and it did the US comics. But yeah, just really amazing stuff. I've already gone on a lot about it. The link in the description down below will take you to it if you want to back it yourself. It is already pretty much going up, and it's already going to be made, so you could just hop on whatever you want and get whatever you want pretty much from it later on. I know I'm going to wait till the end, and I believe it is a 30-day campaign starting on April 8th, going till, I want to say, like May something. Will just from the 8th go 30 days, and there you go. I'll probably wait till the last week to buy the Autobot set if I can afford it, and then just buy the Decepticon stretch goals, whichever ones I want to choose, pick and choose, like, oh, maybe I want the bookmark here, but I don't care about the magnet here, you know, that's just an example. I don't know if those are actual things, but yeah, really cool piece of Transformers history. They have a fun little email where it talked about it, and they like, Teletron one was telling you like, hey, get this part of Cybertronian history. So really cool, just like the G.I. Joe one, and I'm very excited for it. And in comics this week, we think look incredible. We have 4 comics to cover this week. First up is Transformers number 19, and we have been waiting for this. It is where Megatron has been and what he's been doing. It's a little where everything was going on with Megatron, so I'm very excited for that. You got this really killer front cover of Megatron fighting the Sharkticons. I'm excited for this. Definitely going to try to pick it up at my local comic shop. Then we have, in the same vein of things, Skybound's Silent Missions, like the Beachhead one a while back we talked about. I think that was actually last week. Jinx. So it is Jinx, the Red Ninja of the G.I. Joe team, and she will be having her own Silent Mission. And then thirdly, we have the Amazing Spider-Man number 1. This is kind of, you know, one of those reset points where we're going to tell a new story through the Amazing Spider-Man, but it is, you know, a continuation of the 616 Spider-Man. I am very excited about it. Cover looks amazing here with little bits of, you know, Sandman, Black Cat, Doc Ock, Goblin, all the different characters, kind of, you know, pieces of them popping up here and there, and the cover, just a really amazing art. And then finally, not really a new comic, it is the 91 X-Men run, but it is in 3D, so if you have 3D, I'm sure they give you a pair when you buy the comic. You could see it kind of like move and pop out. It's really cool, and I always love when they do stuff like this, and it's just an amazing comic run. If you haven't read it, now is a good time to get into it and be able to see it in a new way, which is really cool, and experience it in a new way. So those are the comics I thought looked amazing this week. Let me know in the comments down below what comics you're excited for. And like always, go to your local comic shop, check out what's new, and pick up your saver. And this week's Creative Corner, we have a look at a customizer who does some kit bashing and some awesome customs. That of @Skella_Soria. Hopefully I said that right, on Instagram. And they have some amazing Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, and other kind of like different companies besides your usual Hasbro, Mattel when it comes to figures. So stuff like probably stuff from like the Fresh Monkey Fiction and stuff like that. I went through some of their stuff, but the ones that caught my eye are here are the Death Dealer using the Mythic Legions. Looks really cool. Very exciting to see this kind of stuff. I'm always excited to see what people, you know, do with their Mythic Legions to make them other franchises like Masters of the Universe, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Frazetta stuff, things like that. And then we have a look at 2 different elephant-like monster creatures using the 4 Horsemen stuff. And I'm very excited for these because I am a fan of elephants, and these look really sick. I love the skull on the elephant that you can see in the 2. Then you can see it singly with the skull over its face. And then, of course, the 2 elephants that use the ogre and the troll, I think it is, or giant bodies. Just really cool ideas. I've been seeing a lot of people using those to make, you know, monster men, beast men, stuff like that for their collection, which is really cool. And then a really cool one is taking the newer Snake figures and mixing them with the Cosmic Legion's space suits and stuff like that, making space lizard monsters. Really cool. Just some awesome work on their site, on their Instagram, so definitely go check it out. Give a follow if you're a fan of customs and kit bashing. You're looking for some inspiration for your own stuff and what you kind of want to do with your collection, and give them the follow, give them the likes, share them with your friends, and just have a wonderful time. And that about wraps it up. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. If you're feeling generous, share it. And thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye.